Well, I think the arts institutions today have changed dramatically compared to yesterday. I think, first of all, a arts institution, of course, needs to have an artistic identity. It is essential to have a proper DNA, to have an artistic identity that belongs to that institution, and therefore capitalizing on the resources that are, and history that is proper to the institution. I think it's today what I'm looking at on many arts institutions. I see that globalization probably have made a kind of hotspot, actually, where a lot of arts institutions look very much alike. Hardly any differentiation. If I take program books from different opera houses around the world, and I would take off the front cover and just ask people what institution, what is what, one would find out, well, that actually it's hard to identify where this program comes from. Therefore, for me, it is absolutely critical and essential that an arts institution is individual, is specific, and therefore, different. Difference is not is an asset, being different. If all arts institutions would be similar, one could even actually suggest not to have different arts institutions anymore, but to have a national center that dispatches production from one place to the other. So having an orchestra, having a chorus, having all the production units as we have in Lyon requires from Lyon to be individual. And it's also this very fact to be individual that allows us to communicate. Because, obviously, it is uniqueness, the USAP, that allows us to communicate and with an audience. What is clear today that being an arts institution, obviously, working with public money gives us a lot of obligations. Working with public money means working with money from all taxpayers. Not only the audience that comes into the opera, but actually all members of a community that are paying a tax. And therefore, my institution and the Opera de Lyon has to be accessible to everyone. People coming from different backgrounds, people with different, abilities, with different economic opportunities. It's important that the Lyon Opera House, working with a substantial amount of public money, is accessible for everyone. And that's quite interesting, because, it means we are catering for wider audiences. There is not one audience that is seen at the Lyon Opera House, but actually it's the wider community and the various constituencies and communities that are living in Lyon that I also can see in the Lyon Opera House. And it is important because I think that the Lyon Opera House, first of all, needs to be a good citizen. Good citizenship should be part of the brand of the Lyon Opera House. And therefore, to live the Lyon Opera House, there's not one way to live it. You can come to a performance, to a dance performance, to an opera performance, to a concert, to any curtain raiser we might have in the Lyon Opera House. But also, actually, Lyon Opera House is also a resource center available for the community. And this is why we are participating through our activities in schools, in social centers, through our activities with associations, through our activities in prisons, in hospitals. Lyon Opera House, all the members of my working community, the members working in the company, are participating in a variety of events And sometimes, as I said, in schools, sometimes in hospitals, sometimes in prisons, sometimes in social centers. They all have their keen interest in something. And that means that the Lyon Opera House is available not only when the curtain goes up and you see an opera performance, but it means also that the Lyon Opera House is available outside the opera, in the community. And what we have been able to establish is therefore a kind of goodwill, a kind of relationship of confidence in between a community and the opera house. And actually this is beneficial to us also, because it helps us to remind every day what we are there for whom we work, why we are doing it, and therefore it gives us a kind of relevance every day to the work we are doing. It allows us to feel and to sense that urgency of what we are doing. And so I would say almost it enriches the institution, it strengthens the institution, and it also strengthens the institution within its community.